Have you ever wondered why some people say the Old Testament laws are strict or outdated? Or why the way God interacted with people back then seems so different from today? Here's the truth. God has not changed. His love, His justice, His faithfulness are eternal. What changed was the way He relates to His people, the covenant. And understanding that difference can bring freedom, clarity, and deep peace. Today, let's unpack how God's covenant has changed. But God Himself remains the same, and what that means for us. 1. God's character remains constant. Even in the Old Testament, God's heart is revealed, loving, just, merciful, and holy. For I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore you, O children of Jacob, are not consumed. Malachi 3, verse 6. God's character is unchanging. His love, His holiness, His faithfulness, these are eternal. When we feel confused by changing rules or laws, it's not God who changed. It's the covenant, the agreement between God and His people at a given time. The Old Covenant was preparatory. The Old Covenant, through Moses, was about law, sacrifice, and obedience. And the Lord said to Moses, "See, I make a covenant. I will do wonders among you and bring you into the land I promised." Exodus 34, verse 10. It revealed God's holiness and the need for atonement. It wasn't about God being harsh or unpredictable. It was about showing humanity that our hearts are insufficient on their own. Sin could not be fully removed by rules or sacrifices alone. 3. The new covenant brings grace and fulfillment. Jesus inaugurated the new covenant, which fulfilled the law and promises of God. This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. Luke 22, verse 20. Through Christ, God's promises are no longer mediated by laws and rituals alone, but through faith, grace, and the indwelling Spirit. The covenant changed so we could experience relationship with God directly, not just obedience to rules. God didn't change. He has always desired intimacy with His people. The covenant shifted to match humanity's need for redemption through Jesus. 4. Understanding the covenant brings freedom. When we confuse God's character with the covenant He made at a particular time, we can feel afraid or burdened. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. John 1, verse 17. Recognizing that God is constant, while the covenant evolved, frees us from fear and legalism. It invites us to trust Him in every season, knowing His heart never changes, even if the rules do. God did not change. His love, faithfulness, and holiness are eternal. What changed was the covenant, the way He interacted with humanity to bring us to Himself. This is Christ's agenda, where we pause, reflect, and see God clearly through Scripture. When we understand this, we no longer fear the law or misunderstand His justice. We walk in freedom, trusting the same God who guided His people in the past, and who now invites us into His grace and mercy through Jesus. Lean into His covenant today, because while the agreement changed, God Himself is steadfast, faithful, and unchanging. And in that truth, we find peace, security, and hope that lasts forever.